Hey, welcome back to RON TV. I'm Ronn McCarrick. Let's talk NaNoWriMo, because where I'm at, it's 4 days away. How are we going to do this? How am I going to do it? How are you going to do it if you're going to do it? And I think you should. Why not? Have you ever written a novel? This is the perfect opportunity to write one. We're going to do it in a month. You got a few extra hours this month, right? Okay, so this is a huge commitment, especially given that it's a month where you've got Thanksgiving, the holiday season starting to ramp up, Black Friday, holidays, probably got your family going ape shit, whatever. Perfect. Also, it's a short month. We couldn't do this in October where we get one extra day? No. Anyway, National Novel Writing Month, November. Starts on Saturday. And the key to this whole thing is getting your word count in. 1,667 words every day for 30 days. That'll get you to 50,000 words, and you will have yourself a short novel. It'll be a first draft of a short novel, and it's going to need some extra work, but if you write every day, you will have a novel. Now, how are you going to do this? How am I going to do this? How can I help you do this? These are the questions I'm going to try and answer. In my case, I have an office, so I just go into the office and I shut the door. And when the door's shut, hopefully everybody knows to not knock on the door to ask me if I want a sandwich or a cup of tea or to tell me that the dog just puked in the living room. If the door's shut, leave me alone. So what you need to create the habit that you need to be successful is two things: time and a place. Because I recommend that you go to the same place at the same time every day and you get your writing done. That's what has always worked for me. Anytime I ever get any success with my writing, it's because I make it a habit. Now, you can go anywhere you're comfortable writing. You want to go to the coffee shop and write? That's fine. If you can write surrounded by coffee drinking fools and whatever else, whatever other chaos is going on in the coffee shop, great, do that. Go to the coffee shop every day. I recommend you go at the same time every day, because like I said, if you want to build up that habit, but go to the coffee shop. If you need to lock yourself in a closet because it's the only place you can go to write, put yourself a little rolly desk in the closet. Put your laptop on your lap, right in the closet, right in the laundry room. It doesn't matter as long as you have some place that you can go to write. And you go in there and your brain says it's writing time. And that's why you need the same time. Because if you go to the same place at the same time, you could trigger your brain after, I don't know how long it takes to develop a habit, but it can be done. We all have habits. We develop them at some point. You go to the same place at the same time every day, and you write your 1,700 words. We're just rounding up here because we don't want to be short, right? You write your 1,700 words, and you're going to create a habit of writing. Your brain will say, hey, we're in the spot at the time. Let's kick out the creative juices. And there you go. You're writing. In my case, I'm going into the office at 7:30. And I know I'm being optimistic, but from 7:30 to 10 is when I expect to get my writing done. I don't type very fast, and generally I find that when I'm trying to write, as opposed to just transcribe, when you're thinking and typing, things go slower. So probably I'm looking at 7:30 to 11, which is a huge block of time, and I don't expect you to dedicate that kind of time, but I have to because I'm slow. But even though I'm slow, I'm still putting that time in because I want to write. And I feel good when I write. You'll feel good when you write too, because when you start to get a stack of paper this tall sitting on your desk because you printed out your novel, you'll think to yourself, I did that. and you did. You're not going to get a polished gem of a novel in these 30 days. It's not going to happen. Don't even kid yourself that it's going to happen, because it's not. Even if you have the time and the place and you've developed the habit, what you're going to write isn't going to be very good. Sure, you've developed the writing habit and you've cranked out the word count, and we're closing in on the month. What you're writing now is probably going to be way better than what you were writing at the beginning of the month, but it's still not going to be great. You're not going to write a Pulitzer-winning novel in a month. What you're writing is a rough draft. The idea is to take the ideas in your head, put them on the screen. That's what we want to do. Or a typewriter. You know what? I don't care how you do this. Do it on a computer, do it on your laptop, do it on a tablet, write it on a notepad, type it on a typewriter. It doesn't matter as long as we're doing it and we're getting our word count. But it's all going to be crap because it's a first draft of a novel. First draft. Keep that in mind. This is a first draft. Do not write 1,700 words on Saturday and go back on Sunday, sit in your chair, pull the 1,700 words you just wrote the day before out and start going through that. Picking out, changing. What will end up happening is you will end up with 1,300 words after 2 days. Oh, sure, they'll be prettier and they'll read better, but you will have lost an entire day to refining what you wrote the day before. Get this story on the screen, on the paper, out of your head. One flow. That's my theory on the whole thing. Is I want to get the story that is gestating in my head on the screen, on the paper, as quickly as I can. Because it'll start changing on you. You'll be halfway through your story and start thinking, oh, you know what I should have written? You know what I want to write? I've got this brilliant idea. You'll start adding stuff into your story. Sure, you spent a better part of October plotting out your story, figuring out your characters, getting everything compacted, ready to play ball. See, I'm making a ball there. Snowball, maybe? I don't know. Story ball. Anyway, you spent all this time getting this together, and as you start writing it, the more you start second guessing yourself, the more you start fiddle fucking around with the shit that you've already written, the more you're going to want to start changing it. Suddenly, your space adventure story is going to become, I don't know, some sort of high fantasy, get the widget and throw it in the volcano story that will just have a spaceship flying by in the background. Because you will always have another idea. Ideas are cheap, they're easy. Let's take the ball and work with that. From your head to the screen as fast as possible. No editing. This is a first draft. We're just going to blow through this thing. 1,700 words a night. You and me. Let's make this happen. When it's all said and done, there's a whole nother National Novel Editing Month. I don't think it's December because that doesn't sound right. It might be February because once we're done with this story, we're going to put it on a shelf and we're going to take 4 or 6 weeks or 2 months and just let it sit and get it out of our system as we start working on something else before we go back to edit it. We just want to take this first draft, get it out of our head and on to the drive or the paper. Does anybody write on paper anymore? Whatever. Onto your hard drive. That's where I'm putting it. So every night I sit down, my goal, get my 1,700 words out of my head. And what I find is the more that I talk about these stories, the less likely I am to get it out of my head because it comes out of my mouth. So I'm talking to you about it, and I'm talking to my buddy about it, and I'm talking to my wife about it, I'm talking to anybody that will listen. All I'm doing is working out bits of this story that really should be worked out on the page. And if I'm doing that, it's not going to come out in my word count. This is kind of, this is probably not as inspirational as I had hoped it would be. You're probably thinking, he's just yelling at me. I just want to go get a Hot Pocket and a cup of chamomile tea. You don't have time for that. You don't have time. The first is right around the corner, and we're gonna write. We're gonna knock it out of the park. So again, you need a place and a time. You go to that place at that time. You shut the door. Shut your door. Shut your mouth. Let that story sit with you, in your head, in your heart, on your keyboard. When it's all said and done, if you think that it just needs to be read by somebody that isn't you, because it won't be you, you're going to write this thing and then you're going to want to hand it to somebody before you've even read it. Not a good idea. But if you have to do it, December 1st would be a good time to do that. Let's not show the wife or the friend or the co-writer or the folks from your nano group you're writing. Just don't do it. You're not going to get feedback that does you any good at all. They're going to say, oh, your spelling, your punctuation, oh, I don't like your cover. That's not going to inspire you. That's going to make you think, I don't want to do this. I shouldn't have tried. I didn't even know how to spell redonkulous. It doesn't matter. It's first draft. We're not winning prizes here. And the Literature Award for the year 2014 goes to Ronn McCarrick in his first draft of Starship Adventure. No, not going to happen. Unless you're some sort of literary whiz kid that everything you write drips with award-winning prose. This is going to be hard work. It's going to take some commitment, but we can do it, you and I. We're going to write a novel. I'm going to make one of these videos every week to let you know where I'm at in my process and how things are going for me. Hopefully you'll take some sort of inspiration from it. Maybe just the fact that I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe you're thinking, this guy hasn't ever published anything. Why am I taking advice from him? Maybe you're just thinking, I wonder what Ronn is doing. Is he still talking about NaNoWriMo? Yes, probably for the next month. That's what I'll be talking about. But hopefully I'm helping somebody out. Find a place, find a time, write with the door shut, keep your lips zipped about your story. If you need to talk about your writing, that's fine. Find somebody that you could talk to about the problems you're having with plotting or character or dialogue. But the particulars of your story need to stay in your head or you will work everything out. You will have nothing to write. So that is my little tidbit for the week about NaNoWriMo. So come back in a week and I'll have another video for you to let you know how the first couple of days of NaNoWriMo are going with me and check up on you. I think that's going to about do it for this one. I will talk to you later. I'm out of here.